All right, take 6. I've got this. Hello, Amanda's Favorites, and thank you for having me back. My name is Molly. If you didn't already know that, I'm Amanda's sister, and I am here to share with you my quarterly 3 planning update. And in true Molly fashion, I was in 3 different planners. Surprise, surprise. I apparently have commitment issues when it comes to sticking with a planner. But I don't want to draw this intro out, so let's jump right in and get to the good stuff. Okay, hello, and let's dive right in. I'm going to give you a quick look at the 3 different planners that I used, and then I'll go into depth about each one. So I've used the Planner Perfect. This says June, but it's actually redated for July. So I used Planner Perfect method and her Planner Perfect journals. I used the Daily Duo ERIN CONDREN. That one was fun to try out. And I also used, I've never done a disc system, number 1. And this is cloth and paper. So black and white, very streamlined, very simple. I actually have an agenda cover coming. It hasn't shipped yet. So right now, this is what the planning system looks like. So let's go back first and look at the Planner Perfect, because this is what I was using in July. So this quarterly 3 is July, August, and September. So I was heavily into the Planner Perfect. I used this exclusively for the month of July. I like to take my monthly layout and use that calendar to record my runs, my workouts. I don't put any appointments in here. I use my iCalendar for that, or a calendar that hangs on our refrigerator so my boys can see what we're doing for that day. So I use this strictly for working out. Then I love the goals section and filled that out. The weekly section, I would put some things that I needed to do, or some timed appointments. And then we can jump in and look how I laid it out for each day. So I did, I'm very visual, and so having this hourly breakdown of the important things that were scheduled for the day was really helpful for me. I did switch up my layout in the Planner Perfect method throughout all 3 that I've used. I did have it broken down with morning, midday, afternoon, and evening. That seemed to flow really well with what I needed it for. And as you can see, that same layout was pretty consistent. Saturday and Sunday are just one page each, so that layout looks just a little bit different. But you'll see, I think pretty much for the month of July, yeah, I used the same layout. So you get the hourly, morning, midday, afternoon, and evening blocks of time. And then, yeah, so that you got a month in review. I do like that. So that was the calendar I used for the month of July, strictly in Planner Perfect. Then if you want to come to August, oh, I love this painting she did for this one. I started out in it. You can see kind of where I stopped about midway through August. Did my goals. I didn't use that weekly spread. I did continue to do the hourly layout with it. I'm sorry if there's background noise, guys. I have kids. I told them not to use the Alexa. That doesn't mean they actually listened. So I'm just going to apologize that if you hear anything in the background, it's because I homeschool 3 boys and it can get noisy, even though I ask them to be quiet. So yeah, I kept that same layout, the hourly and the 4 time blocks. And I stopped about, yeah, halfway through. So I didn't finish the August in the Planner Perfect. I set that aside for a couple weeks just to see if I would miss it. And I jumped into the ERIN CONDREN Daily Duo. I hadn't used it. I was so graciously gifted it by Amanda, but I hadn't used it yet. And I was super excited when I bought it, and I like stickered it up. I'm kind of like Amanda. I only sticker once. And I sit down and do it all at the same time. But in August, you can see I wanted to give it a go. So let's jump to the first day I started using it, which was this weekend. And I think I was drawn to it because it did have the hourly blocks of time. I did like the general layout of the ERIN CONDREN. I thought it was enough space. I felt like I could write in it easily. Her paper is amazing. I've never found another paper I like quite as much as this. It's thick, it feels good, it has like a good tooth on it, and so I just like how it feels to write on it. I did realize as I went through the month of August that I missed the scripting method that Planner Perfect, Jenny at Planner Perfect talks about. There was something that I really liked about that, because that's how I truly try to live my life, is to be a co-creator with God. And I think the scripting method fits that perfectly. So I did the ERIN CONDREN for the month of August, and then I stopped because I was like, I'm missing something. So enter September, where I double teamed my planners, and I've never used two planners at once. But I also look at the Planner Perfect scripting method as it could be a supplement to another planner, because it is a lot of journaling and a lot of scripting. And so I liked how they complemented each other. So I'll show you my Planner Perfect the month of September, and then we'll dive into this is cloth and paper. So I started out and I decided, okay, let's track the weather, because sometimes it's fun to look back and see what the weather was like. I was kind of hit or miss or sporadic, didn't do great about the goals. I started off using the weekly spread as just giving a little blip of our day. This first little bit was more journaling, writing quotes, printing out pictures that really resonated with me. And then, so I kind of carried that over. And then starting like that second week in September, I would script out my day, and then that the night before or the morning of, and then at the end of the day, I would kind of journal out what actually happened and how the day went. So I tried that for one day. And then I was like, well, maybe if I just have a good hourly time section, I'll just go back to Planner Perfect and just use this by itself. So I tried that. I didn't love that, the way this was set up. So then I went back to scripting and writing a recap of my day. And I did that, I think, for the rest of September. So that's how I use Planner Perfect in the month of September. And I'm actually doing that, something similar to that for October. Maybe not exactly the same thing where I have my scripting and a recap, but it does have a similar feel to that. So just a little sneak peek is I'm still currently using Planner Perfect that way in October. Now cloth and paper. This is a totally new to me company. I randomly found them through Jen McIntosh because I was following her for looking at her homeschool stuff, since we homeschool also, and her posts sucked me right in. I will say Jen McIntosh gives really great details. So if you are interested in the Planner Perfect, not the Planner Perfect, sorry, the cloth and paper system, I would go visit her Instagram because she gives great detailed posts and stories about what she uses. So these discs are 1 inch. I got them on Amazon. I got this cover. It's supposed to just slip into your agenda when you get it, on Etsy. I actually shopped around online for these, and Etsy by far, like, this quality is great, and it was super cheap compared to some other ones. So these are called dashboards. If you go to the Cloth and Paper website, they are all different. The dashboards come in different, like they have like designs on them. These are clear adhesive pockets I put on. This one has a quote on it I really liked. People romanticize their plans but dread the execution. The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. So I do like the disc system because it is so customizable, because you can organize it however you want, and if one way is not working, it's really easy to switch it up. So my months I have in one tab section, and I'm back to recording my workouts and my runs. Have not worked out today. That's today. I worked out yesterday. I ran. I just need to put that in there. So these are all my months. I won't have anything filled out in advance because it's strictly just workouts. Then you go to daily. I don't have a weekly layout for this planning system, and I'll show you how I'm kind of tweaking it to make it my own. I really liked this daily layout. I just really love the hourly. So this is October, but I wanted to show you something that I'm doing. So they have these like half sheets. So each week I kind of mark what the days of the week are. These are the things that I want to accomplish at some point during the week, and I can just put them in on the days that work. This is Monday through Friday. Anything we have scheduled, doctor's appointments, sports, it just helps me see at a glance, besides using my iCalendar on my phone, what scheduled things we have. And then on the back of this one, I have our Together School. So I can check off and see the days that we do all the Together School things. Today we actually met my in-laws for breakfast before they were flying back out of town. And so we chose connection with family over doing Together School. So I'll just mark through it. But visually it helps me see what we've accomplished for the week. So, and then I can just, that's the nice thing about the disc system, is that you can just pop it out and I can move it as I go to each new day. So I have that for November, December. I have a notes section. But then back here is my September. So I just moved it to the back because September is now over. And you can just kind of see how I used it. I really liked it. I did think it was kind of funny that the dated dailies didn't have the day of the week. But I guess that means you can reuse them for whatever year because there's no day of the week. So I would just write that in. So I used this and the Planner Perfect method for the month of September. It's what I'm currently doing in October. And pretty much anything, like all these little sticky notes that are transparent, those are from Cloth and Paper. The guts of this book are from Cloth and Paper. The only things that are not from Cloth and Paper are the discs and the front and back cover. Otherwise, all these products I got from Cloth and Paper. And here's the thing about me, guys. I love pops of color, and you'll see that in my house. I like neutrals, but I really do love color. I cannot go to an all-neutral palette. And I love holidays. I love celebrating holidays. I love celebrating just anything that can be celebrated. And I also love the scripting and journaling. But there's also a part of me that loves the black and white neutral look of a planner. I loved how clean and crisp and simple this was. And that is probably what originally drew me into the cloth and paper. And so I've married the two and I use both of them and I love it. And I think it works great for me. I don't know if it would work great for, for anybody else because they really are two very, very different planning systems. But I'm currently using both the Planner Perfect and the cloth and paper planners for the month of October, and we'll see what the quarterly 4 update brings you guys, because we all know that I could very well be in a totally different planner by the time I film another one of these. So just to recap, cloth and paper, the beautiful Planner Perfect, guys. Like, her artwork is pretty. It's great quality. The paper's really nice too. It's really nice to write on. I enjoy her stuff immensely. And then you have the ERIN CONDREN, which by far I think has my most favorite paper ever. But I just use this for a short time. I don't think I'll go back to it right now, but never say never, because I'm really enjoying the other two that I'm using. I also wanted to just show you some pens that are my current favorite. I got these all off of JETPENS.com. So you have this, sorry, and that Band-Aid's really ugly. The Sarasa Dry. This ink dries really fast. This is a 0.4, but I also really like it in the 0.5. Sometimes I just really want a thinner line, but I have realized that I love gel ink pens. Those are probably my favorite. And then I do like this Pilot Juice, and that's a 0.4 tip. And then I do have one more favorite. I forgot to grab it, so let me get it out of this bag right here. This is another Sarasa, and it's just their vintage. I think it's called vintage. So the ink color is not like a true black. This is a 0.5, and I got it in like this pretty kind of slate blue and then like a dark blue. And they have a couple other colors too. But I am really loving the Sarasa brand of gel pens, like a ton. And I just wanted to share with you that these are pretty much the ones. I don't use blue a whole lot, but I prefer black ink. But these are the ones I write in my planners and my journals mostly right now, pretty exclusively. And I thought I would share those since that went along with how I plan. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope maybe that this sparked an interest in trying a new planner. All right, I just wanted to say thank you one more time for having me, Amanda's Favorites, and for her followers for being interested in wanting to see how I plan my days and my life. And I think it still surprises me how frequently I bounce around in between planners. Another thing that I bounce around in between are hair colors. If you go watch the last quarterly update and this one, you'll notice there's a drastic difference in my hair color. But I like variety in a lot of things, and then I crave consistency in others. But again, thank you for having me, and I apologize for any background noises. I have 3 children and a dog, and they seem to not always want to cooperate. But I hope you have a great day and happy planning.